Welcome to DevOps Project Live Implementation. Okay. So Project 10, University Student Enrollment Portal using static web app services, MySQL and QoL. Okay. So this is the last project of our DevOps Project Live Implementation series. Okay. Let's see. So project, University Student Admission Enrollment Portal using static web app services, MySQL and QoL. Okay, tools we are going to use is Terraform, React.js, and Spring Boot application for frontend and backend. And we will use the MySQL and QoL. In the Azure services, we will use Azure Static Web App Services and Azure DevOps services. Okay, let's see. So, project. Let's see the overview about this project. So, University Student Admission Enrollment Portal. Okay. So, this portal is designed when a student is surveyed, you need to make a administration in the university. So we have established a one portal that will enroll the student details and it will be stored in database. Okay. Let's see. This is a real-time online admission enrollment portal. Okay. Let's see. So this is the portal. So where you can able to see the student registration form. This is online portal. Okay, where student need to fill all the details like his name, his branch, session, his address details, Aadhaar, mobile, email, so father name, father income, cash details, college, course, year of admission. So once he is submitted, then the data will be stored in the backend DB so that all the details will be saved by the corresponding university or college. Okay, so that details will be handed over to the government. Okay, this is the agenda of this is the workflow of our project. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is the architecture of the project. So let's discuss more about this one in the upcoming slides. Okay. So Azure services and DevOps tools. Okay. So we will use Terraform for provisioning all the Azure resources. Okay. So we will for front-end development we are developing with the help of React.js that will be hosted in Azure Static Web App, and we have a backend. So it will be developing using Spring Boot that will be deployed in Azure App Services. Okay. So we have MySQL to store the student details. Okay. We are using MySQL flexible database server. Okay. That will store all your details, and we have keywords. So these will be helpful to store your key secrets of your database. Okay. So we have front end and back end. So backend will be communicated to MySQL. So with the help of a keyword. Okay. So when it will try to communicate, so it use the keyword secrets and then it will write the data. Okay. Yeah. And after that we have Azure DevOps. So we have repository and we have Azure pipeline. Okay. This will be used for storing the code, and pipeline will be used to do CI/CD pipeline for front end, back end infrastructure. Okay. Let's see. So before going that one, let me introduce about myself. I am Prasanna Kumar. I have overall 15 years experience. Okay, so I have worked on different kind of DevOps roles, and currently I'm working on one of the topmost MNC company. So I have working experience in different kind of projects like banking, project, automobile, and travel and transport, and medical care, and telecom, and big four companies, and etc. I have certifications like AWS DevOps and Azure DevOps and Azure fundamentals and AWS fundamentals. Okay, so let's go what we will be learning in this course. Okay, so you can able to create a front end application. You can able to develop the backend application that will deploy in app services. Front end will be deploying Azure Static App. After that, you can able to write the Terraform script. After that, you can able to integrate front end and back end and DB. So after that, you can able to write the Azure pipelines that will provision your required resources. After that, you can build and deploy your application. Okay. So with this, you can able to learn the real-time DevOps file. Okay, for your portfolio. Okay, let's start the quick implementation. Okay. Two, architecture and tech stack walkthrough. Okay, here is the architecture of this project. So you can see multiple components. I will open in a separate photo. Okay, so here you can see the photo. This is the architecture of universal admission portal using app service and static web app, MySQL, keywords, and Azure DevOps. Okay, so we have a local developer, though he will develop the code. So once code is ready, he will push to a repository, and we have Azure pipelines. Okay, based upon changes detected in Azure repository, so pipelines will be triggering. We have infra pipeline, we have front end pipeline, we have back end pipeline. Okay, with the help of a Azure service connections. So infra pipeline will be deploying. So all these sources will be creating. So this will create Azure static web app. This will create Azure app services and service apps, and it will create MySQL server, and it will create a database, and it will create a key vault. Okay. So with the default keys. Okay. Yeah, key secrets. Okay. So we will using username and password for authentication purpose between backend and DB. Okay. So let's see. So how to it will achieve. Okay. So you have an info pipeline. This will provision all this one. So once it is developed, so we need to procure the Azure pipeline, Azure static web apps token. So we need to store in Azure pipelines. Okay, we need to trigger the front end pipeline. This will trigger automatically when a change is detected. Okay, so it will build your application and publish to Azure static web apps. Okay, so now the front end is completed. Now come to backend. So backend also based upon changes, it will be triggering. So it will be deploying so this will create we have a backend pipeline. This will deploy your application in app services. Okay. So once it is deployed, so it will you have passed we have integrated the MySQL details, MySQL server details. Okay. So these have a ability to communicate with the backend. Okay. So we have this MySQL is open to internet. Okay. Anyone can access if you have username and password. Okay. I didn't restricted in this project. Okay. So this I have updated all the MySQL host and username and username details. Okay. Username password details. Okay. So when it will try to communicate with the backend, so it will cross check with keywords. If the keywords username and password uh, is correct, then the MySQL will be interacting with so database backend is interactive with MySQL. Okay. So in the MySQL we have the DB. So it will be fetch the data and updated to backend. So from backend it will be able to see in the front end. Okay. This is the front end. So once the user will hit this portal, so you have a dynamic DB. So dynamic DNS. So that will be published globally. So globally the all the users can be able to access. Okay. This is the workflow. Okay. So let's break this into simple components. This is the pipelines. Okay. This is the Azure Infra. This is the CA. This is the front end part. This is the back end part. Okay. So pipeline will be triggering infra pipeline. So all resources will be creating. Okay. So we have front end. So with the help of a build and deploy, so your front end will be updating. Okay. We have back end. With the help of a back end pipeline. So backend will be deploying in app services. Okay. So when the user try to communicate with the DNS of frontend, so he will try to enter this static web app where he will fill all the details and submit. Okay, once he submitted, this data go to the app services. So where all data will be processed by the Spring Boot application that is deployed in app services. So in the Spring Boot application, we have given the MySQL host details, user details, all details. Okay, when it will try to fetch the data, it can update and it can fetch. Okay, so when it will try to update the data, it will check the keywords and it will take the keywords and it will try to communicate. Okay, so MySQL will be validating your keywords and it will be fetch the MySQL data and it will send the data to Spring Boot. Okay, from Spring Boot it will be updating to apps Azure static web app. From Azure static web app, the public can be able to see. Okay, so this is the flow. Okay, this is the static web app. So once they are able to update, so the data will be sent to uh, sorry data will be sent to backend. In the backend, so they try to update. So it will be validating with the help of a username password. It will passing. So with the help of these host details, user details, and secrets, it will be updating your data in the MySQL server. It will be storing in the DB. Okay, this is the flow. So when they will view, so it will be loading. Okay, the same process will be happening. So front end will be slash fetch. It will go to service app services. From here it will go to fetch. Okay, it is validate the keyword and it will be sending the data to front end. Okay, Spring Boot. This will be shown to Azure static web app front end. Okay, this is the workflow of this application. This is the standard legacy process by following by many projects. Okay, let's see the workflow. Developer pushes the front code, we will go to Azure repository. We have Azure DevOps. This will trigger the pipeline based on configuration. We have infra pipeline that will provision all resources. We have front-end pipeline that will compile and deploy your front-end code to static webpack. And we have backend pipeline that it will build and publish artifacts and it will deploy to app services. And we have static webpack that will serve the website globally to the users. Okay, we have key vault that will solve the key secrets. Okay, so in this architecture, you can also get this information internetly also. I mean, so this MySQL will be accessed globally. It is public accessible. So I have opened all the ports. Okay. So even you can also ping and you can cross check the data whether the data is stored in backend or not. Okay. So we will show you all the things. Let's go to implementation. Yeah. Environmental setup. Okay. So step one, we have a pre-request Azure subscription. You need to collect and you need to pay as you go. You need to go with pay as you go, and you need to create a Azure DevOps organization. Okay. Once it is completed, you need to do local setup. You need to install these following tools. Okay. So Node.js, Visual Studio Code, Git, Maven, and Java 18. Okay, these tools you need to install. Okay, so after that, Azure Pipeline Agent. Okay, so it is a it's optional. So whether you need to use your own self-hosted pipeline or Azure-based pipeline. Okay, so four, Azure Service Principal and Service Connection. Okay, this I already explained you in the earlier projects also. Once you have created the Azure DevOps organization, you need to create a project. After that, you need to create a repository. After that, you need to create a front end and backend and IAC folder also. So after that, you need to standardize the naming conversation for all the folders. After that, you need to make a Terraform backend setup. So that will be helpful to deploy your resources. Okay. Let's see the front end and backend development. Okay. So once ADO is organized is ready, you need to create a repository. So after that, you need to clone the repository locally. So after that, you need to open the repository in Visual Studio. So after that, you need to create a front-end development and back-end development. So I already told you how to create a React.js application with the help of this command. You need to create. Okay. So after that, for the back-end development, you need to create a Spring Boot initializer with the help of Spring Boot initializer. Okay. These all steps are already explained you clearly in the previous project. From starting part one onwards, I explained you these two projects how to develop. Okay, I think we no need to explain clearly. So let's go to walk through the front end code. So once you are creating, so go to source API. So this is the API. This is the app.js. This is the main folder. Okay. This is the CSS. So this first of all we are creating a form. So that will be having these all details. Okay. This is all our constraint and the constraint messages. Okay. This is what the front end will be trying to communicate with the backend data. The label, these are labels and names. So student list, this is the list fetching the data of the existing students. Okay. So we have two tabs right in the front end. So register student and the view student details. Okay. Yeah, student details. It will be fetching. Okay. This is the all the code related to front end only. If you have more interested on this one, you can extend this one with the more good UI. Okay. Yeah, this is all about front end UI. Rest of the things are all default one only. This is the package.json. Okay, I have created with the folder name front end only. Okay, these all are default one. If you don't want this all other JS files, you can simply remove. You just keep app.css and app.js. Okay, this app API.js also you can keep. So why? Because mm, we have some APIs that will be communicating with the backend. Yeah, this is all about front end. So let's come to backend. So once you have created a Spring Boot visualizer, so that will download your folder. Okay, you can unzip and you can paste in this folder. Okay, so you can see this is the code. So we have form.xml. So form.xml we have included a Spring Boot framework, and we have added some properties, some dependencies we have added. Okay, so after that build commands, build plugins we have added. Okay, let's see the code of our backend. Yeah, so this is the main, the entry point for your application. Okay, the student controller. Yeah, this is the main Java file that will process your front end data. Okay, this is the main, this is the API. This is the API, so that will process the data. Okay, this will process your data, and we have model and this is the student. So where, so this model and the repository, these two will help us to create a entry in database. Okay, so this will create a separate entry in your database. Okay, so here we have resources where it will be helpful to update your all details. Okay, so you can see all backend details, the DB details. So we need to enter the DB details. So these entire DB details will be processed by your front end student controller. Okay, we have model and repository. These two will process, make a entry to your DB. Okay, so that DB details will be stored in this resource application dot properties file. Okay, these cut values will be coming from, so environment variables of a infrastructure. Okay, so that means, so once you are deployed your application in app services, the app service also we have environment variables. Okay, that will be fetched from app services only, and it will be applying to the code. Okay, so let's see that one also. So this is the front end, right? So while creating, so we have app services. So this is the app services. So we have added the environment variables apps. So with the help of a Spring Boot database URL and username and password. So this username and password will be updated in the key vault. Okay. So like this, once you have mentioned this one, so with the help of a application dot properties, we can able to communicate with the backend. Okay. See this one. Sorry. See this one. Yeah. We will communicate to the backend. Yeah. This is all about backend application. Okay. So let's quickly go to the architecture again. So frontend is deployed in Azure Static Web App. So this will be communicated with the app service. So with the help of a React app, we have, let's see. So in the front end, we have a env file. So where you need to update your API based URL. Okay. So that your traffic will be routed from front end to back end. Okay. So these both will be secured with the help of a static web app or web app token. Okay, so it won't access directly. Okay, we have made a reverse proxy for this. So once if you try to hit app services URL directly, it will be throwing error. Okay, so the input route will be come from front end to back end only. Okay, so in the back end, on the front end data will be processed by app services. We have Spring Boot, so it will fetching the back end details. It will fetch the DB details, and the data will be processing by validating the key vault. Okay, so this is the main agenda of this part, is how to utilize the key vault and how to utilize the MySQL and how to use in the backend. Okay, so just to understand how the MySQL key vault is used by app service and DB. Okay, yeah. So let's see. So this is how we need to develop the front end. Okay, let's see the Terraform code. Infrastructure as a code. Okay, so Terraform. So first of all, we need to write the Terraform code that will provision your Azure resources. So after that, we need to organize your project structure. So after that, we need to configure the Terraform backend. So after that, we need to create a service principal that we utilizing as a service connection and it will utilize in pipelines. Okay. After that, we need to create a Azure pipeline. So with the help of Terraform Infra pipeline, we can provision all the pipelines. So it will provision all the infra resources. So after that, we need to verify all the resources. Okay. Let's go. Let's quickly walk through the code. Okay. So these steps are same for all the projects. So let's see the code. Okay. Main.tf. So you can remember what things you need to create. So we will create static web app services and service plans, and we need to create a MySQL server and we create a DB. So we need to create a some firewall also. So we need to create a keyword and also we need to create a application inside so that we need to check the logs of your backend and frontend. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So to test backend to MySQL to backend, so that also we will do that one. Okay, let's go to Terraform code. So let's quickly walk through the code. So this is the dev and prod. All backend details and key value details will be saved here. So this is common for all project main.tf file. Let's see. This is the name standardization purpose. We have created this one. So this is the resource group. We will create a resource group first. So yeah, so just remember whatever resources you have created that will be created under resource group only. So if I forgotten anything in diagram, so just follow the Terraform code only. So your default resource group is common for all resources. So once it is created, then only all resources will be creating. Okay. Or else if you didn't mention here, it will mention here it will be created under default resource group. Okay. Resource group is compulsory. Okay. This will create your static web app. Okay. So now see keyword. Okay. So keyword secret and keyword secret. Okay. So these will create a keyword and this will create a keyword secrets. So it will create two secrets. MySQL admin login and MySQL admin password. Okay. So let's see. So keyword. This will be creating. Okay. So it is creating with the permissions of secret permission get to list set to delete. Okay, that means we can fetch the secrets. You can able to list that one. We can just set for first time, or else you can delete that one. Okay, that means we can't update the key. Okay, so manually we can update. So once the key value is created, so then after this will be these two key secrets will be creating. Okay, name is this one. Value will be fetching from variable. Okay, we have variables type. Yeah. So from this DB user and DB password, it will be updating. Okay. Once you are creating, so again that we are fetching the key vault and key sequence. Why? Because so we need to utilize in the DB section, in the server and DB section. This is not a mandatory, so you can directly inject that one also. But for my convenience purpose, I am using this one. Okay. So if you use the database means it will be pulling again. Okay. So now come to MySQL flexible server. So now we are creating a MySQL. So there are many types of MySQL servers is there. Okay. So currently I am using this MySQL flexible server. Okay. So all are based out of MySQL DBs only. Okay. So this will create a MySQL server first. Okay. So it will utilize the key vaults. Okay. Key secrets. So this MySQL will be created with the help of this username and password. Okay. So once it is created, so we are creating a firewall rule. So that will allocate to open the access to external world also. Okay. So this can you can restrict to use on specific IPs only. So if you would like to communicate with your specific IP, so then you can restrict this one. Okay. So that specific IP only it will be try to communicate. Okay. So there are multiple ways to restrict the access of your DB. Okay. So now I am open to the public. Okay. So this one will create the default some DB with the name student DB. Okay, whenever try to access to MySQL, this is the default DB. So all the data will be updating in this DB. Okay, your data will be updating in this DB. Yeah. So till now we have created a static web app, app services, and keywords. Now it's time to and we need to create this MySQL servers. Okay, we forgot this app services. So now we need to create that one also. So it is a web server. So that purpose we need to create a service plan. Okay, we need to create a service plan. After that, this is a Linux based web app. Okay, app services. Okay, so it will be run under Linux. Okay, these are the site configurations. So we need to set the Java version. Since this is a Spring Boot application, we are using a specific Java version. Okay, so this is the app settings. So we need to pass some key values. Okay, to key variables. So environment variables we need to pass. We need to pass the database data source URL and username and password and Java operations options you need to pass. Okay, so these keyword will be created. This resource will be created when completing the MySQL server. Okay, so we are using my backend will be using these three key variables. Okay, so when it will try to write data to MySQL server, so it will utilize this data and uh, it will be updating your MySQL DB. Okay, this is all about the code. Yeah, let's go once again. So we need to create a static web app, we need to create app server, we need to create a management server and DB, we need to create a key vault. Okay. So and also yeah, these are the main resources we need to use. Okay. We need to create. So let's see how to create this one. So with the help of a Terraform pipeline, we need to create this one. Let's see that one how to create. So we have CI/CD pipelines with Azure DevOps. Okay. So these pipelines are YAML-based pipelines only. So here we have four kind of pipelines. Infra pipeline that will provision your infra resources, and we have the Frontend pipeline that will compile your application and pack the Java application and deploy to the Azure static web app. Okay. So and we have backend pipeline. This will build and publish. After that, this will deploy to Azure App Services. Okay. So after that, five cleanup pipelines. So okay, this will delete all your resources. Okay, let's see how to do. So let's quickly review our front end. Okay. So let's review about infra.pipeline. So this is the standard process we are following from first part onwards. The steps are same. So step one is validate the Terraform version. So after that the Terraform init. So after the Terraform value, after that Terraform plan. Next Terraform apply. Okay, this will deploy your resources. Okay, so I already told you the Terraform code. So once it is deployed, you need to go on. You need to cross it. So go to resource group. Yeah, this is your resource group. So university portal student admin dev plus RG. Okay, so you need to cross check. So Qolt is created, app service is created, app service plan is created, static web is created. So and the MySQL server is created. Okay. So once it is created, yeah. So with the help of an infra pipeline, so you can see that one. So with the help of this one, you can check the log to the form apply. So you can check the log. So all resources will be created successfully. Okay. Resource to key vault, static web app, and service plan. After that, Azure flexible server. So okay, MySQL server. So DB. So Linux web app. Okay. So all users are created. After that, we will get that front-end and MySQL DNS name. Okay. So let's go to CI pipeline. Now come to front-end pipeline. So this is included CI and both CD. So we are split it into build and deploy. Okay. So when a change is detected, so this pipeline will be triggering. Okay. So we have static web app secrets that will be pulling from library. So we need to procure this token from static web app. So this step is I already explained you in the previous slides also. The same process you need to follow. So this is the build stage. So where your application will be building and publishing in the pipeline. Okay. So this will building your application. Okay. This will be publishing your application. Okay. Publishing the pipeline. Okay. So deploying the React.js app. Okay. So when the build is completed, deploy will be triggering automatically. So this will download your pipeline artifact. After that, this will deploy in your Azure static web app. Okay. With the help of a static web app token that will be updating in the key value. Okay. I already tell you how to deploy. So go here and static web app. You have key values. You need to update. Okay. So once the CI pipeline is completed, so now so this is the Infra pipeline. So go here. So this is the front end pipeline. Okay. So we have split it into two stages, right? Build React.js and deploy React.js. So here you can see. So installing the required dependencies. So this is publishing artifact. So this will download your build artifact. Okay, this will publishing your artifact to server. Okay, apps that is static web app. Okay, like this, your the front end application will be up and running. So once you click the static web app, so there will be some URL is there. So visit your URL. So click this one. So it will be opening. Okay, refresh this one. Yeah, loading the data from backend and the DB. Okay. Okay, you can clear this one, delete this one. Yeah, this is how you need to deploy the front-end application. This is all about your front-end pipeline. Let's go to deploy the back-end pipeline. Yeah, so let's see. With the help of infra pipeline, we will deploy all the resources. Okay. With the help of front-end pipeline, we deploy the React.js application in Azure static web app. Okay. So now we need to deploy the Spring Boot application in app services. Okay, let's see. So now come to backend application. This is the backend application. Again, we split it into two stages. One is building, another one is deploying. Okay. So in the build state, so we need to build your application with the help of this one. This will be generating jar files, okay, with the specific version, and it will be publishing in the pipeline, build pipeline. Okay. So in the deploy, so once the build is success, and the deploy will be starting. So it will download your backend artifacts, okay, and it will be uploading your jar files to corresponding web app. Okay. So we need to give the web app name. Okay, we are giving web app name. So this is the web app name. Okay. So for this purpose, we established a service connection. See, we are given the service connection. Okay. So like this service connection is established, then jar files will be uploading to Azure app services. Okay. Yeah. Now go to backend. That is app services. So it is deployed in web app. Okay. This is the web app. So it is using code Java 17. Okay. So this is the default one. So if you want, you can add a customer domain also. Okay. This is a app service plan. So I told you it will create the app service plan. Okay. This is all about configuration. You can see environment variables. So I told you all the key values will be stored in the environment variables in the app services, right? So here it is. So this is the app URL. Okay, this is the database URL. So this is the admin username. This is the password. Okay. So it will use this password to communicate with your DB. Okay. So this DB will be fetching from Key Vault. Okay. So now, so backend pipeline also completed. Okay. So that application will be deployed and run as expected. So the both how the integration is happening between front end and back end. Okay, so that will check this one. So we have already we need to we have already passed this one. This is a API, React API for backend. So we need to pass the API full DNS of your application. Okay, so you can copy this one and you can paste here. Okay, so like that front end will be routing traffic to backend. Okay, so from backend to how to integrate to MySQL. So so in the app services, you have already given the MySQL host name and username and all details. So when it will try to update all the details, so it will take a keywords username and password. So it will be this will be using that one and it will be updating your code to the MySQL server. Okay. So this is how the interaction will be happening. Okay. Yeah. This is how we need to create the pipeline. So backend pipeline is completed. So build and deploying to Azure. Okay. Let's move to the end-to-end deployment. After that, we need to clean up the application. Okay. So that application will be deleting. So application deployment and integration. Okay. Once the infra pipeline is deployed, we need to verify all the resources. Okay. We have done. So we need to collect the token and update in the Azure pipeline environment using pipeline. Okay. Static web app tokens. Okay. We have already done. So we need to deploy the front end and back end application to the corresponding resources. Okay. So we have completed all the things. So let's test end to end. Okay. So let's go to front end and make some. So let's test the pipelines first. Okay. So let's make a code in front end. Okay. App.js. Yeah. So I will made changes to the front end, but back end I won't touch anything. So if I touch anything means it will be throwing some different errors. So backend means almost all it is related to code only. So what are the things you need to do? So student registration. Okay. So use the static data. So student, I think. So I won't touch the code. Okay. I just add the comments. Okay. So this comment session. Equal question. So just verify the code. Go to terminal. So check the if I have written this one means is there any issue will be throwing. So just cross check. Okay. So even it is throwing the error. So line 3. Okay, I just kept as it is. So let's go to env file. Yeah, I'm just adding like this. Okay, I'm just saving. Yeah, so now no errors is getting. Okay, so that form.xml is a backend one. Okay, just ignore that one. That is a related to version only. So what did I have done? Okay, line. Okay, that's not issue. Okay, so and then local API. Okay. So now observe the pipelines, how the front-end pipeline will be triggering. So here you can see all the build pipe runs. So front-end pipeline is running, started running. Okay. So you can check the logs. You can check the logs of all the steps in the build stage. So Azure pipelines and these pipelines are very simple. So it will be more flexible. So you can configure these pipelines however you need. Okay, it is not like AWS code pipeline or Jenkins or something like GitHub or any other tool, GitHub or GitLab. Okay, so even GitLab and GitHub are somewhat flexible, like similar to AWS Azure DevOps. Okay, but AWS DevOps and Jenkins, these tools are very complicated. It is code is very complicated. It is very simple to understand code is, but you would like to understand functional wise. You need to understand. Okay, code is simple. Okay, so let's go to the logs. So it will take some time. So just creating. So let's create it. Let's make some changes to backend also. Let's check the changes. So that it will also trigger once. So it will be pipeline will be triggered automatically when a change is detected. Mm, so this is related to code one. If I touch anything code means, so this will throw the error. That's my one concern. So I don't touch code much, but I will go to this resource section is there, right? App portal. Okay. So here I'll make some changes. Okay. Mm, so okay, I remove these all things. So this comment sections I will remove. So only code will be pipeline will be just triggering. So nothing functional wise it will won't do anything. Okay, just to save. So backend test. So you can see here. So what are the changes you made? So just mentored comment section only. Okay. Yeah, commit. You can review and you can push the changes. Okay. So go there. So front end is deployed successfully. Okay. You can check the logs. Yeah. So it is deployed. Okay. Yeah. You can ignore this that error is common. So if you have in your application you have multiple languages. So Azure Static Web will fail to detect the exact language. Okay, that since even though that is not a error, so you just ignore that one. Okay, now so backend pipeline is triggered. So now it is building. So build is completed. So this will generate a jar file. Command lines. Okay. So build is success. This will generate a jar file. So see here. So that jar file will be located at backend slash target. Okay. So deploy. So this job is now starting. Yeah. So step one. So this will download your artifacts. Okay. I already explained you right. So backend will be first publishing, then downloading. So so this will be building your application. Okay. So this will publishing the artifacts. Okay. This deploy step will be downloading the artifacts and uploading to the app services. Okay, this is the process of backend pipeline. Okay, so downloading is completed. Okay, now publishing to artifact, so app services. So successfully deploying web application to app services. Yeah. So this seems it is updated. Okay. Okay. So just reload this page. This is the register student. This is the view student. So where it will fetching the details. Okay. So it having the student details. So we need this tab should be enlarged this one. Okay. So now so we need to make some entry. So we would like to test the we need to test this one. Okay, we need to fill all the details. After that, we need to verify the students. So after that, we need to verify in the DB, okay, direct DB. Okay, yeah. So first go to Frontend. So try to register this one. Yeah. So from branch IT session A 10th board board percentage 80 address yes other details need to fill this one and gmail.com. Okay, some father we need to give some father occupancy business father's income you can mention as anything. Okay, 10,000 lakhs. Okay, say something called white college something IIT course MBA mission 2025. Okay, hit enter. Okay, submitting. So this will process your data. So it will show the data. So student registration successful. Roll number is roll CC. This is my roll number. Okay. Okay. So it will generate the roll number. Okay. See. NMOD Mr. Trump. Okay. So we have entered the three entries. So we have three students details. Currently we have entered. Okay. So with this we have confirmed that so front-end data we have passed, that will be passed by the backend data. So that will be stored in the backend DBs. So once we will fetch that from front-end, so the backend will be passing and fetch the details from MySQL DB. Okay, this is the workflow how it is happening. So while writing, so we have a keyword, so that will taken and updating the MySQL. Okay, so once created, you can able to change the name keyword value also secret value also like username and password you can change and you can try. Okay, so now we have completed this one. So how to check the database is stored in MySQL. Okay, so let's go to here. So let's test that one. So go here, connect. So connect. So just copy this one. Okay, so expand the window, try to paste. Okay, hit enter. So collect the password which you have created initially. Okay, this is the password we have created. So copy and try to enter. Yeah, now we have the MySQL. So it is connected. You can able to see. Okay. So here we go. So how to you need to pass some commands. So that will these are the simple commands, DB commands that will show your database and the details of the students. Okay, here you can see we have this number of databases. So we need to use student DB. There is a command called use DB and the short of these all commands you need to pass student DB. Okay, after that you need to come first show tables. Okay, so you have student table. So now we need to fetch the all the student from student table. Okay, so here we go. So here you can see, so student details first. Okay, there is the student details, ID, Aadhaar, address, branch, cash, email, father name, father occupancy, interboard, mobile, name, percentage, roll number, section. Okay, this all you are having. This data is stored. You can see the missed term. So this is confirmed that so your details is saved successfully. Okay, this is how you need to test. Okay, so front end to backend and backend to DB. Okay, so end-to-end testing is and completed for this application. Okay, so front end will be accessed by global users. They will allocate to use the portal. So they need to enter the details that will be passed by the app services. So that will be stored in the MySQL server DB. Okay, so in order to fetch the details, it will use the key values. Okay, key vault. Okay, this is how you need to use the keywords. So main intention of this project is how to communicate that detailed application, front end, back end, and DB. So with the help of a key vault. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this is the end-to-end deployment. So you need to exit this one. Yeah. Click. Okay. So that close. This application will be closing. So so with that we have completed end-to-end testing of this portal. So next you need to clean up all the resources. So monitoring and observability. Let's see the monitoring. So go to app services. So web apps. This is the app services. Okay. So app service is a pre-configured application of web app. Okay. So where it having its own subnet, it's having its own mission. Okay. So go to here. So go to log stream. There you can able to check the logs of your application. Okay. Yeah. Last 30 minutes you can able to see now. Yeah, we have made some entries, right? Yeah, that will be getting here. So yeah, yeah, here you can see. Yeah, connecting through database source. Okay, so it is connected. So it is fetching some details. It is updating some details. Okay, okay, it is updating. Learn process signal there existing now. So this will be fetching the details. So you can observe the logs of your Java. Okay. This is how you need to monitor your application. This is how you check the logs of app services, and for database I have told you how to connect. Okay. So with this you have completed all the things, end-to-end testing and end-to-end monitoring also. Let's clean up the application, clean up the resources. So go here. So click your application. So application name is, yeah, yes, just review this one, create. Okay. So this will create your all resources. Okay. So so just verify uh, where did your state files will be storing. Okay, I will show you. So your Terraform state files will be stored in this specific location, not here in this specific location. So I have created the service principal. I have created the service connection, right, with the help of that one. So we have created a storage account. So I have given a script, right? So you need to pass the script. So where you need to update the subscription ID, all details you need to mention. So I already given the script in the from project one onwards. You can show that one. So go to container. This is the storage account where your Terraform state files will be storing. Okay, you can see many statefulls is there. Okay, so bank portal, bus booking, car rental, car into dev, hospital consultancy, hospital consultancy registry, TF state. Okay, here you can see university state portal dev. Okay, this is how you need to show your tier state files. Okay, so that no conflicts will be occur while deploying. So it will avoid the multiple users to deploy your resources. Okay, yeah. So I think these resources will be deleted from here. Okay, so you can ignore this one. So this will be deleting. This will delete all resources. Okay, acquiring first. So okay, reading. So this will destroy all your resources. Yeah. Firstly, you need to close this one. So after that, you need to close. Yeah. So like this, we need to destroy. Okay. Thank you. So here you have completed the cleanup. Now come to this is the end of your application. So let's quickly wrap up what we have done. So we have developed the front-end and back-end application. We have written the Terraform automation code. Okay. So we have written the Azure pipelines, which are both front-end and back-end. So we have learned how to we have learned the services called static web app service and keywords and MySQL. Okay. So first we developed our code. With the help of Azure pipelines, you have written the infra pipeline, front-end pipeline, back-end pipeline. So we deploy front-end application static web app. We deploy back-end pipeline code in the app services. Okay. So when a user try to hit, so you will access the static web app. You have DNS. You will access the static web app. So when the student try to register, details will be uh, these details will be passed by the app services. We have Spring Boot application. So where it will fetch the Spring Boot keywords of a username password. With the help of that one, it will try to update your MySQL server. Okay, we have DB. So all the data will be stored in the DB. Okay. So when student try to fetch the registered student details, so again it will go to the API will go from front end to back end, then back end. So go to list all your student details from DB. Okay. Yeah, this is how the workflow will be happening for this application. Okay, so okay, by this we have completed this project. So okay, thank you, and also you have completed the whole DevOps project live implementation. Okay, thank you.